So hello Helen, Alison and everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be here telling you a little bit about MatExp, our incredible campaign to improve maternity experience here on the NHS Transformathon. So where to begin really? Well, there was a beginning. I was doing my Who Shoes work using my Who Shoes approach, kind of looking at things from different perspectives with a board game, as you do, in some workshops, particularly around dementia-friendly communities in Kent. And Florence Wilcocker, an amazing consultant obstetrician at Kingston Hospital in London, had been asked to work with the London SCN to improve maternity experience across London and ideally wider. And so we got together, and a lot of things have been written about this. You'll find that as it's evolved into this MatExp campaign, we've written blogs, we've done stories, visual stories. You'll find all sorts of things on the internet if you look up the hashtag MatExp or Who Shoes and just look to see what we've been up to. So I think in this short slot today, I'm just going to try and share the kind of energy as to how it's actually worked and transformed into a change platform, and obviously been picked up by NHS Change Day and the other fantastic campaigns that Helen Bevan is involved in. So I can't possibly do it in a kind of linear way. This happened and then that happened, because that really isn't how it's worked. But I think the key messages have been that we've created the conditions for people, anyone, to come forward as leaders. And this obviously links really strongly with the themes that Helen's been developing and the School for Healthcare Radicals. And you don't have to ask for permission, go for no, and these kind of really quite radical but hopefully very constructive concepts. I think a key theme of what we've been doing is that a lot of things seem to have divided into kind of two groups really, the planned and the unplanned, or the kind of organic that's just been allowed to happen through, as I say, creating the right conditions. So two key strands really have been the Who Shoes workshops themselves. We ran 5 workshops across London as part of a partnership with NHS England and the London Strategic Clinical Network, and the workshops have led to some fantastic outcomes, and some of the best ones have been captured in a book of case studies produced by the London Strategic Clinical Network. So that is really practical, transferable examples of good practice that basically other people could probably look at the booklet and see how they could relate those, if they were relevant to their own service areas. And that in turn has had the advantage of making the whole approach more evidence-based, which is something that the NHS and health organisations are obviously always looking for. But alongside all this has been a really powerful use of social media. We created the hashtag MatExp without any expectation as to how big it was going to become, and are now absolutely delighted that at this point we've just passed 300 million Twitter impressions. Women have come forward as leaders, people that we didn't even know at the beginning of the campaign. And again, I see these as dividing really into two groups. There were people who were already active, who were already doing amazing things, and MatExp has provided an additional platform for them, just in the same way as our link with NHS Change Day provided a mutual extra platform for each of those sort of separate but joined up campaigns. I don't really want to name names because there's always the danger that then you feel that you're excluding some people. But for example, Helen Calvert, Heart Mummy, as she tweets as, with her amazing campaign for hospital breastfeeding and awareness of the problems of mothers with children with perhaps a serious heart condition, and a very powerful story about her own son. And similarly, Lee Kendall, who has got the amazing Hugo's Legacy. I won't talk about it here, you can find out about it yourselves. But people like Helen and Lee were already doing amazing work, and as I say, MatExp has given them an extra platform. Now alongside that, we've discovered a whole lot of women, particularly women who had a bad birth experience and it's affected them for many years, who perhaps didn't have the confidence or the voice to actually take their stories forward and do something about it. People like Emma Sassaru, incredible, now speaking at a national event. It was really interesting that Andrew Harrison and a team from Intimate Innova were commissioned by Helen and the NHS Change Day team to be evaluating what we were actually doing through MatEx. And they found that there was something really quite remarkable about the way we re-energise each other. There's a positive feedback loop going on with people doing good things and other people recognising it and providing that kind of supportive environment, not part of any formal organisation at all, but just a group of people coming together, stepping in, stepping back, depending on perhaps what's happening in the rest of their lives. No actual expectation on anybody, but just a conducive environment for people to get involved and feel that they individually and as a group can make a difference. So a really key concept linking in with Helen's School for Healthcare Radicals, Go for No, no need to ask for permission, has been what we call our JFDI approach, just do it. And we've had people coming forward and doing something as significant as setting up the MatEx website or setting up the MatEx Facebook group and finding ways to group together and maintain those, setting up the MatEx Hour tweet chat and bringing forward different themes. And it's really exciting to see someone who perhaps we haven't even spotted or didn't know was even interested before popping up and not just joining but actually leading really significant developments. We keep things constantly fresh. We don't know where the next small kind of sub-part of the campaign is coming from, but somebody will pop up with Flaming June or the MatEx ABC, or suddenly we all found that we were in a tour bus, an old VW van, MatEx on tour for a month. And these hashtags have become really popular on Twitter and drawn people in so that literally new people are joining every day. We use visual elements very strongly so that the Whose Shoes workshops, the key actions, are recorded through a graphic artist. We use social media very strongly, so as well as Twitter and Facebook that I've mentioned, we've got MatEx Pinterest boards and Stellar Stories. If you don't know Stellar Stories, find out about them. Look up the hashtag MatEx Advent and you'll find that Florence and I, between us, did a Stellar Story every day of Advent at the end of 2015. Some of those stories attracting 30,000 views within just 48 hours. An incredible way of reaching new audiences. So it's all about sowing seeds and being prepared to find out where the energy is rather than trying to plan everything in advance. Make it okay for people to dip in and out according to what they can actually manage. Not make it within anyone's control, but jointly, powerfully co-produced and crowdsourced. The Whose Shoes workshops are all around local ownership, bringing people together, everyone, looking at issues from different perspectives and finding realistic local solutions. There is an action focus throughout. We're prepared to cross boundaries rather than work in silos. The MatEx project is leading to other big projects. So, for example, the CYP Me First project involving health professionals communicating better with children, young people and their parents. And very exciting for me, the Kingston Hospital Whose Shoes project, where we're actually taking these concepts and applying them to different areas of patient experience. So a bit of a whistle-stop tour. I hope that's given you at least some kind of overview as to what we're up to. And as I say, there's loads of stuff on the internet that you can look up and find out more. So create your own change platform, whatever it is that fires you up, add a bit of fun and just do it. Thank you very much.